Good morning, vinyl community. It is Glen Kellaway coming to you from the basement. It's Sunday morning. I've had this idea in my head. Kind of came to me yesterday. I posted my latest video a couple days ago on my top 10 favorite guitar players. And I received a lot of comments, and people told me who their favorites were. And I appreciate very much. Thank you. But it got me thinking that I left like so many good guitar players off my list. I started to have regrets about my video. Not that I don't love the 10 I picked, but there are just a million more, and there are definitely a couple that if I reconsidered, I'd probably add them. So here's what I thought I'd do. I'm going to come up with an alternate 10. My 10 favorite guitar players, part 2. Then, inspired by my friend Larry Graves, the Canadian Stud Muffin. If you're not a supporter of that man's channel, stop watching my video right now. Go over to the Canadian Stud Muffin, subscribe to his channel, and join his Patreon thing, and just be a part of the Larry's world. It's awesome. And then come back and watch the rest of my video. So Larry does these things where he picks piles of CDs, 2 piles of classic rock CDs, and you pick which pile you would take. I'm going to do that with the guitar players. So I did my first list. Now I'm going to do my second list, and I'm counting on you people to comment and tell me which list you would choose of guitar players. List from the other video, list from this video, and also, like Larry does with his CDs, you're allowed to trade one guitar player from each list. So we're allowing that. So the first thing I'm going to do is so you don't have to go back and watch my video again to figure out what I picked. I'm going to give you my list from the first video. So there you go. You can kind of make your notes from that. I'm going to hold it up long enough so people can see it and review it. So it's Ry Cooder, number 1, Jerry Garcia, number 2, Duane Allman, number 3, Jimi Hendrix, number 4, Steve Howe, number 5, Martin Barre, number 6, Jimmy Page, number 7, Frank Zappa, number 8, Keith Richards, number 9, and Mike Campbell, number 10. So now let's do the new list. Okay, so number 10. Now, I'm going to add up here. I mentioned in my first video there was 9 out of 10 of those guitar players that I'd seen live. The only one I didn't get to see is Duane Allman. On this list, I saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 10 I saw live. I'll let you know what the 2 I didn't see. So number 10. He was on a lot of people's lists on the comments. The great Stevie Ray Vaughan. Amazing, amazing guitar player. Blues player. Just extraordinary. Died tragically in a helicopter crash. What can you say about Stevie Ray? Amazing. Amazing. I saw Stevie Ray in a triple bill with Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jeff Beck, and the great Canadian guitar player who also died too soon from cancer, Jeff Healey. 3 of them on one bill. They came out together and jammed. Oh, amazing. Okay. Number 9. John Fogerty. Man, I love the way that guy plays the guitar. Just love it. I never saw Creedence live, but I did see John Fogerty a few years ago, and it was an awesome show. Just a hits machine, this guy. Those Creedence Clearwater hits are just timeless. And his guitar playing, when he does those extended jams on some songs, like Heard It Through the Grapevine, and wow. Ramble Tamble is a classic on this album. This is Cosmos Factory is like a hits record, and it's not. It's just had so many great songs on it. You could call it a greatest hits record. What songs were on the radio off of this? Traveling Band, Looking Out My Back Door, Run Through the Jungle, Up Around the Bend, Who'll Stop the Rain, Heard it through the grapevine, As Long as I Can See the Light. All singles off of this album. Amazing. So John Fogerty's my number 9. Number 8. Just an amazing guy. Pete Townshend. This is my favorite Who album, Quadrophenia. Pete Townshend's playing is awesome. It's rhythmic. He can play great acoustic, electric. He doesn't have another guitar player backing him up. He had John Entwistle playing crazy bass. And John almost took over some of the lead breaks in the Who. Pete did it all himself on the guitar, and amazing guitar player. I saw the Who twice in early to mid 70s with Keith Moon, so fortunate to see that. Next, a guitar player who I think, as soon as you hear the first note he plays, you know who it is, and that's what puts him on my list, because he is so distinctive and such a great player. Mark Knopfler. Doesn't matter what he's playing, you just hear the first couple of notes and he has a distinctive sound. Beautiful, just a beautiful guitar player. I love it. And this first Dire Straits album is amazing. Mark Knopfler. Who's next on my list? A gentleman who's become one of my favorite guitar players just over the past few years. I'm not a huge Genesis fan. I really dig Peter Gabriel's solo stuff, but for some reason, Genesis, some of the stuff I like, Selling England by the Pound is probably my favorite Genesis album. But the great Steve Hackett, his solo career is incredible. Flight of the Accolades is his first solo album, I think, and it's amazing. It's pretty hard rock, and this is his second last release, The Night Siren. It's a beautiful, beautiful record. Lots of great guitar playing on it. He's done some great live. He's put out some live sets doing Genesis songs and everything, and I love that. So it's not the songs, it's just, I don't know what it is, but live, they sound great, and his guitar playing is so freaking awesome. Just a great, great musician. Steve Hackett. Oh, number 5. Without this man, this band, I think, would have disbanded after the tragedy that hit them. The Allman Brothers. When Dickie Betts is number 5. When Duane Allman died in the motorcycle accident, he was the band, and how would they continue without him? Well, Dickie Betts stepped up and played the slide stuff that Duane played, and played other leads, and came up just amazing. I got to see the Allman Brothers in Buffalo, just when Brothers and Sisters came out. But this is the album that came out posthumously when Duane died. Eat a Peach, dedicated to a brother. Always loved the inside cover of this. But Dickie really stepped up and took control of the band for a while. And my opinion, they wouldn't have continued without him. But Dickie Betts, a great player. Love his playing. Okay, another guy who's he's so inventive. He plays so much different stuff. He can rock out with the best of them, and he can play just the weirdest, wackiest stuff and arrangements. The great Robert Fripp. I love this album. This is one of my top 5 albums of all time, In the Court of the Crimson King. I've seen King Crimson live a couple times, and Robert Fripp sits in the back corner, and he just controls everything, man. The guy is unbelievable, the stuff he plays. If you watch him, unbelievable. Just such an inventive, unique player. Number 3. A lot of people question me not having this guy on my first list, and probably should have. Jeff Beck. This is my favorite Jeff Beck album, Truth, from 1968. far as I'm concerned, this album is the father of Led Zeppelin. If you've never heard this album and you're a Zeppelin fan, you need to, because you can hear where that music was going. And he also does version of "You Shook Me" on here, and he does Beck's Bolero, which ends up as part of How Many More Times on the first album. I got to see these guys, Jeff Beck, the Truth Band, with Rod Stewart and Ronnie Wood playing in it, in a small club in Toronto called the Electric Circus in 1960, late 68, I think it was. And amazing. There probably was like 400 people there or something. And yeah, incredible. I was really fortunate to see that. So Jeff Beck, number 3. Number 2, Alvin Lee. Technically the best freaking blues player ever, man. Like, just incredible. This album is called the Cap Ferret Sessions. It came out on Record Store Day about 4 years ago, I'm going to say. After Alvin's passing, his wife found some tapes, and they listened to them and found out that it's these sessions that he didn't put out, and it's incredible. It's like my favorite 10 Years After album. My favorite 10 Years After album is actually the live one, Undead. Fantastic. But this is amazing. If you can get your hands on it, try and find it. The Cap Ferret Sessions. And number 1, the man who definitely should have on my first list, and I screwed it up. Johnny Winter, number 1. I love Johnny Winter so much. My favorite blues album of all time is Johnny's Progressive Blues Experiment. And this album's second winner is amazing. This was a 3-sided album, the first one ever. So one side's blank out of the 4 sides. Supposedly we're in the studio. They came up with 3 sides of fantastic music, because there's not a bad track on this album. And then they were talking about adding some songs to fill up the 4th side, and Johnny said, no, these are the solid tracks. I don't want any filler on this album. So they left the 4th side blank. So Johnny's amazing. I saw him in 1969 at Massey Hall when Edgar Winter was still in the band. Oh, what a show. So there's my top 10. I will recap. Number 10, Stevie Ray Vaughan. Number 9, John Fogerty. Number 8, Pete Townsend. Number 7, Mark Knopfler. Number 6, Steve Hackett. Number 5, Dickie Betts. Number 4, Robert Fripp. Number 3, Jeff Beck. Number 2, Alvin Lee. Number 1, Johnny Winter. So, and there is the list of the first 10. So now it's up to you guys. Which list would you choose? And you're allowed to trade one guitar player off of the list and move them over. Let's see your responses. I'm really excited about this. Take care. I'm doing a live feed this afternoon at 4 o'clock with Canadian Stud Muffin. It's on his channel. Paul from Fit to Be Tied, amazing guy, amazing channel. And Doc Dawkins, another great, 4 Canadians talking about their 10 desert island albums. It should be epic. Don't miss it. It's on the Canadian Stud Muffin channel at 4 o'clock. Peace out, everyone. Have a great day.